So we say good morning, Bridge Nation. It's the 14th day in the month of April 2022. Welcome to Up and Go here on the Bridge 99 FM. My name is Richie B.
Blessings, Bridge Nation. You know this is your boy Shellz.
Peace and love, Bridge Nation. DJ Audis in the house.
All right, and I can tell you that Jody is in the house.
Woo!
Yeah.
Come on, give the queen a round of applause and welcome back. Good to see you, Jody.
Yeah,
you doing all right? Yeah, she's getting there. She's getting there, and she pushed out this morning to make sure that we're well taken care of. For that, we say thank you very, very much. Richie is also in the building. Morning, Richie. And today's Holy Thursday. Good morning to the Christians out there. Of course, this is the day on which Christians commemorate Jesus' Last Supper. And it is the day before Good Friday, obviously, which marks Jesus' crucifixion and death. What can I tell you about Holy Thursday? Holy Thursday is the Thursday of Holy Week, which is the week from, the week before Easter, from Palm Sunday to Holy Saturday. So we're looking at public holiday being tomorrow, and another one come Monday, which is going to be Easter Monday. So it is what it is.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people out there are more looking forward to the bun and cheese and maybe some fried fish or whatever. But we have to remind you.
The reason for the season.
Absolutely. So what on, Shells?
Boy, I'm there.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You start getting messages yet? You and them, you and them listeners later when them see up on the screen and them start comment about the haircut.
Yep.
Listen, I don't want to think too far, you know, but just get ready for all the sleep I'm going to have over the weekend, you know. I have to neat up for the bedrock and pillow jam.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, on, man.
That's a plausible explanation.
Yes, thank you.
The man sharp. Well, on, wait till the Red Sea.
And tell him the earlier. All right, walk on, Audley. You took a different route.
Yeah, man. I'm definitely up and going this morning.
Yeah, man.
I
Exercise
strolled.
is not your problem.
No, you know that. I strolled over the bridge this
All
morning.
right.
Nice.
All right. So it's now time for us to take at least get ourselves organized for the next feature, which is going to be WTF. What the fact? And today, nothing too strange, I can tell you, because we're looking primarily at Easter traditions. Jamaican traditions surrounding Easter are far different from those in the United States of America, for instance, and they aren't limited to religious adherence. In fact, the celebrations provide a variety of fun-filled activities for everyone that rejoices in the season. I'll take this one.
All right.
Easter bun. I take it with good reason. Now, this is one of the traditions that we definitely are aware of and partake of. A tropical version of the hot cross bun popular in England is eaten with cheese during Easter in Jamaica. Do I need to repeat it? No, we don't have to repeat it.
They know.
Also,
Yes, so we also have Lent, which is the 40 days after Ash Wednesday and comprises the Lenten period and represents the withdrawal and sacrifice of Christ. To emulate that, people traditionally abstain from meat on Friday and have swim around instead. And I never know that they had that instead. I just thought, it was just a choice just to give up something. I never know that. Oh, so it's a conscious decision to just give up meat and have fish on that day. Okay, so that's cool.
I thought when you said swim around, I'm thinking, boy, what about our friends now in some far and distant place who don't even know that Jamaicans tend to refer to fish as
that's why I made sure
swim around.
fish right
You
after
made
that.
sure you brought it back at the end.
Welcome to Jamaica.
Yeah. The fact is, a lot of persons I'm hearing actually eat bun with fish.
Yeah.
Anybody here does that? Eating bun, Easter bun with fish?
Nah, me.
Yeah?
Oh,
Okay.
big up on yourself.
I've never done that combination. No, I've never done that combination, but it seems to be quite popular.
Sandwich.
Have you ever done that? No?
Not at all.
No, we've had bun, we've had fish, but not together. But it's a popular combination for many persons. As far as clothing is concerned, Jamaican congregants often wear black to church services for Mass on Good Friday. Then on Easter Day, everyone brings out their white and most colorful clothing to celebrate the resurrection.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. And of course, eggs play a part in our tradition as well. Adults put an egg white in a glass of water on Holy Thursday night, and by Good Friday, the individual will see their future based on the pattern formed by the egg white. What?
Now,
go on there, sir.
Now we're getting into the original WTF vibe.
This makes more sense. This is more WTF. What?
Yeah, the last one we want to share with you, though, is Carnival. And the celebration is attended by celebrants throughout the island and also commemorates the end of slavery. Festival goers enjoy music, parades, flower shows, sporting events, beach parties, and private gatherings for a unique celebration of life. Those are some traditions that are well known, quite popular here in Jamaica at Easter time. A lot of parties are being held this weekend. I remember Ocharizo is a very popular place for that. Yeah,
you
and the place open up now, so
you do have a couple of them.
yeah. All right, we'll talk more about that later on. Right now, it's 28 minutes after 6 o'clock. That was
What the Fact.
time now for update. Some of the popular stories out there and the very latest that we have on them. One of which is...
That's right. So the general, the boss, the warlord, Bounty Killer Cross, he denounces Jamaican artists who elevate other genres over dancehall and reggae. So Bounty Killer has denounced those Jamaicans he describes as wannabes and sellouts in the music industry who are constantly elevating other genres above reggae and dancehall. Now, according to the warlord, while foreigners embrace the country's genres, these musical traitors continue their acts of treachery, depriving children of the music of their forefathers. He said, and I quote, "One of the main reasons why non-Jamaicans can be winning Grammy for reggae over Jamaicans is because our younger generations is not embracing it as they should be doing. You heard more rap, trap, Afrobeat, and drill than reggae in our parties today." He went on to say, "Wannabes, sellout Jamaicans helping extinct dancehall directly and indirectly. No root without the roots. Learn that, lunatics." Or kids aren't into reggae, but kids and younger over the world is studying and practicing our music and culture while we are here forming fools. Still Soldier album did better than Gramps, Itana, Jesse, since it was a reggae battle, but it tells the plot. Wise up, Jamaicans. Now the warlord also went on in another post to reiterate his stance that he's not in support of the dilution or any attempts to replace authentic dancehall music with trap sounds. He said, and I quote again, "Una overlooked good music that is to inspire and encourage the younger ones to stay posted, then in a turn around complaining about the state of the music. That's why the youths them just go and chop it and trap it." End quote.
Man of argument. He's making a serious point.
He is.
Yeah. We need to. We've been talking about this balance, getting that level of balance that we need. So even here in Jamaica, he's saying that basically hip hop and other genres
are coming here, while the persons from the countries of those are where those music are originated from, they're embracing us.
Right.
So it's like a weird cross happening right now. Yeah.
Very important point being made by Bounty Killer.
Yeah, man.
And some serious lyrics to boot. I also want to share a story with you. Buju Banton was recently in Belize, and he was there primarily to endorse his good friend, Honorable Dr. Moses Shine Barrow, who is a member of Parliament and is now the opposition leader of the House of Representatives on his campaign to become Prime Minister. So Shine is a former Grammy Award-winning rapper and performer and publisher, and he assumed office, that of the opposition leader, on the 1st of February this year. And he got a ringing endorsement recently when his friend and fellow artist Mark Myrie, also known as Buju Banton, or the Gargamel if you will, stepped into Belize and gave him some endorsement. In fact, when Buju arrived, it only became known when Barrow took to his Instagram page and published a photograph with both of them. Buju was later questioned as to why he was there, and he basically went on to say, "I feel tremendously good to be back in Belize. Wonderful, as a matter of fact. But the reason I'm here in Belize," says Buju, "this time it's much different from the last time, as it's about supporting the next Prime Minister of Belize." and making sure that the masses know that there's a movement that they need to get behind. It involves all Belizeans for change. So that's a ringing endorsement. Now, the backstory for those of you who are not familiar with Shine, the rapper, well, it was he was leading quite a career as one of the proteges of Sean P. Diddy, Puff Daddy's Bad Boys Records, and he's most, I guess, notoriously known as a key figure in the 1999 nightclub shooting incident, which involved J-Lo and her boyfriend at the time, Puff Daddy. And, well, eventually he actually took the fall in that incident and spent 10 years behind bars. His father was a former prime minister of Belize, and he went back home and got involved in politics, and now he's running to become prime minister under the endorsement, or with the endorsement, of Buju Banton. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
I want to know. This is I don't want to give myself trouble, but I can't help myself. We know how Buju speaks out about our politicians. I don't think we'd ever see Buju endorse any politician out here. Is it because of Shine's musical Shine's musical history? That's why he's supporting him like that, and he's in another country. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out.
I think it's a friend supporting a friend.
Okay.
And putting everything else behind and saying, hey, you're my brethren.
Okay.
May I come support you? May I endorse you?
You know, people will slide tackle Buju and say, oh, politics. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, that's a good look.
Yeah.
And I wish Shine all the best.
Definitely. We'll see how it goes.
Definitely.
You know, what is obvious is that for him to have emerged as the opposition leader, it means that Belizeans have forgiven him to a point, and he has been elevated already, and now he's going for a higher elevation.
Hey,
so
it'll be a great story, trust me.
Definitely so. All right. And by the way, I didn't realize that he actually is now referred to as Dr. Shine. So
Dr. Shine.
I don't know if that was one of those that he studied for, or an honorary doctorate.
Nice.
But that you have to call him that.
Yeah.
That was Update, ladies and gentlemen. Let's hear the proverb of the day.
Alligator shouldn't call hog long mouth.
What you say?
Alligator shouldn't call hog long mouth.
Alligator shouldn't call hog long mouth.
I heard this one before.
Yeah.
This sound like yard.
To them have long mouth.
This sound like yard.
Yeah. Alligator shouldn't call hog long mouth. You shouldn't belittle or criticize others when you yourself have the same faults.
Okay.
Yeah.
So almost like let he without sin
Cast the first stone.
See, I'm biblical. Jojo frightened a while ago, my quote. Ari.
It's all a Thursday, man.
Religious education. Big up Casey once again.
Yeah. Alligator shouldn't call hog long mouth.
That's Jamaican, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All
right. All right.
So it really means you shouldn't belittle or criticize others when you have the same faults.
Facts.
All right.
That's true.
I can't remember the exact quote, but it's like, take the before you take the thing out of your eye before you take the two before out of your eye before you take the beam out of somebody else's eye. Yeah. There are various ways that that has been expressed through the years, so it's a similar kind of vibe. You know what I mean? There's also another one to that too, similarly, where about hog on them long mouth, and the hog telling the youth, say, yo, yeah, girl, you will find out.
Wow.
All right. Remember though, proverb, don't forget this one. It's important. You shouldn't belittle or criticize others when you have the same faults.
True that.
When you hear alligator shouldn't call hog long mouth. All right.
That's right.
Moving on now to our next feature.
And this is pet peeves. For those who don't know, pet peeves are things that others do that you may find annoying, irritating, or even upsetting. And today's pet peeve comes from one of our listeners. Let's hear what's happening.
Good morning, Up and Go family. So one thing that annoys me the most is when you tell me to do something and then you're going to repeat it 3 to 4 times at the same time. So that basically kind of annoys me. If you tell me at least twice, then fine. I am comfortable with that. But you repeating yourself all up to 5 times about something that you already told me. So yes, it's like I don't understand what you're saying, or sometimes I really do feel belittled because probably you don't.
I know what happened. She just never started the thing yet. That's quite simple as that. She don't do that yet. Like the person say, "Oh, do this." I don't do it yet. So you almost like I hear it 2, 3, 4 times till you do it.
There's another side to that story, though, where the person who gave the instruction might be the one that's having a memory lapse.
Who knows?
I'm not remembering that they'd said it before. So to the listener, I'd say, be consoled.
Yeah.
Maybe the other person is the one who's having the memory lapse and not you.
But that can be annoying. I understand. Yeah, that's true. That is true.
All right. So that is a pet peeve that we all can relate to, I guess. He is the founder and chairman of the non-profit organization Santokie Foundation. What can we tell you about the Santokie Foundation? What we know is that they're currently renovating Ward 3B at the Kingston Public Hospital. We are aware of their monthly outreach at the Annie Dawson Girls Home and the Homestead Child Care facilities. And today, we understand that they're doing a nice bun and cheese drive for those in need.
Nice.
Sounds like some positive things all around going on with this foundation.
That's right.
Whose chairman and founder, in fact, is joining us right now. We say good morning to our guest at this time, Kervin Santokie, chairman and founder of the Santokie Foundation. Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Blessings, Mr. Santokie.
Good morning, Richie. How are you?
We're doing well here. Myself and Shellz will have a conversation with you.
Awesome.
I noticed, Kervin, that your foundation carries your name. Tell us a little bit more about the Santokie Foundation. When were you established? What inspired you to get started with this foundation? Give us some deets on that.
Okay. Well, thanks again for having us on your program. Really appreciate this reaching out. The foundation started, I was hospitalized last year, March, at KPH with COVID, battling very hard to survive. So after I started recouping and so forth, there was some need for TV and so forth in the hospital while I was there. And one person had purchased one, and the sister asked me, Mr. Santokie, I think you should step up. She was joking around it. And I said to her, I am grateful. God has blessed me and I'm alive. So that's the least I could do. And I called my wife and said to her, I need you to get a TV so we can do something here at the ward for patients like myself and others who doesn't have family to come by during COVID, because as you guys might know, COVID wards, you're not allowed family to come by to visit. You're basically alone and with the care of the medical nurses and doctors who are there. So after I started recouping and stuff, I started talking to my wife, who we have done numerous little things in our community. We are from Clarendon. And we said, okay, let's register a foundation when I get out. And I came out the 6th of April last year. So I was there for 3 weeks. And we registered the foundation, and we said the first thing I wanted to do as someone who has gone through this COVID issue, and also the fact that I've been at KPH, which is in need of a lot of things and a lot of support. People may not know as much, but that's where we started and decided that they will be the first recipient of what we're doing.
Yes.
And we just started reaching out to friends and family, persons who have been supportive of me during this COVID pandemic and my stint at the hospital, and people have been helping us, giving us funding and so forth. So
we're-
that's where we started in about June of last year.
Okay. Yes.
We're coming up, registering officially. So we're coming up to a year since the inception of the Santokie Foundation.
We're thankful. We're thankful that you fought and obviously won the battle against COVID-19.
Definitely.
And it is really, really heartwarming to hear of your intention, and yourself and your wife and affiliates to give back to this institution. Were you actually in the ward 3B, which is the one that seems to be getting the support at this time? And what can you tell us about the renovations that are being done there through your foundation so far?
Okay. Yes. I would. That's the ward that I was on, 3B, and myself, I met a young lady who is now a friend of mine, Elizabeth Morrison. And we spoke about doing things, and we said, after we get out and stuff, we'll start this foundation and get this going. So far, the foundation has done 2 full renovation of 2 full bathrooms there and a nurse bathroom. So we have done basically 3 bathrooms, but 2 are very huge. Which is the patient's bathroom. Total renovation of those 3. We have bought some paints recently to spruce up the nurses station area, and we're working on numerous other little things. We have bought oximeters, thermometers. People might not know, but those things are very essential for the healthcare workers at KPH to make sure that your temperature is up to par, your oxygen is right. And machines, those small little oximeters and thermometers, they get damaged frequently. And as you know, government entity, people might think that because it's a government entity, it should be fully furnished with all equipment necessary, but it's not so. Government have to do so many different things with the amount of funding they have to supply all these organizations that they take care of or are part of. And so you'll find short supplies of these things. So we try to get donations and funding to purchase these things. You have a thing called a patient monitor that we are trying to see if we can get some funding to purchase at least 1 or 2 for the hospital as well. And at present, we are actually doing a fundraiser. Basil Dawkins, Hide Your Husband, March 17th at Little Theatre. And this is a funding for the foundation to be able to continue doing, small things that we have been doing along the way.
No.
So,
The date.
So Mr.
What date is it? Sorry.
Remind us of the date again, Mr. Santokie.
Oh, it's it's May 17th at 8:30 at the Little Theatre.
Okay. Morning again, Mr. Santokie. Shellz here. I must say thank you so much for your work and your efforts from you and your team. I respect the fact that you're giving back to an institution that basically helped you through a very tough time. Enough respect goes out to you. But it can't be easy.
Thanks.
It can't be easy for you and your organization. I just want to know, how can people volunteer or donate, just help out the Santokie Foundation as with your endeavors?
Well, we're easily reached. Social media, we're Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Santokie Foundation. Our website is www.santokiefoundationjamaica.org. Contact number 876-833-3065. And on our Instagram page, there's a link to our bank account, which is right now only Sagicor, as we're trying to get some other banking set up as well.
Okay.
All right. I understand too that you're having a bun and cheese drive where the less fortunate will be able to get some bun and cheese at Easter time. What can you tell us about that?
Okay, so we're actually doing with another, unfortunately, it's a home as well, children home in Stony Hill area. I don't know much we can say about it because, government institutions without certain protocols, you're not able to really mention. So it's really another government entity with kids who is having hard times and stuff like that. So we are actually purchasing buns and cheese and just bring it there and drop it off for them to make sure that, tomorrow, at least they'll be able to have even a slice of bun and, a piece of cheese. And as usual, we normally may just get some juice or something like that to, bring there. And we see a need for something else at that same institution, which hopefully we'll be able to remedy it. Went up there to visit 2 weeks ago, and we looked and the security was standing with an umbrella, in the hot sun, just standing outside there. And I was asking, I asked her quietly, is this where your post is? And she was like, yeah, this is the post. I was like, standing in the sun like this? And she was like, yes. So one of our aim right now is to see if we can provide a security post for that home as well.
Okay.
Because, as a human, irrespective of what work you're doing, I think it's a little bit inhumane to just stand there. I don't think it's something that deliberate, but maybe funding isn't there for that to take place.
So you basically see it as an opportunity to rally your troops and to try to help to solve another problem. It's not a foundation that's very old, but it just seems like you have done and are continuing to do so much. And for that, we want to congratulate you, your wife, and the members of your team.
That's right.
And just to wish you all the best. In closing, we also want to remind them, Mr. Santokie, of the play Hide Your Husband, which is one of the fundraisers, and that will be at the Little Theatre. It's a Basil Dawkins production, and you can buy tickets. You can call 876-833-3065 and go on out and support the Santokie Foundation by entering and enjoying that play on that date.
Right.
The date is the 17th of May. All right, we're out of time for this segment, but I thank you again, and we commend you, and we wish you all the best going forward, all right?
Blessings, sir.
All right, thank you.
Take
Appreciate
care.
it.
Take care, Kervin.
right.
Kervin
Have a good-
Santokie, the chairman and founder of the Santokie Foundation.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to the Secret Sound Game.
Good morning,
Good morning. Who's speaking with?
Dante Porter.
Dante Porter?
Yes, sir.
Where you calling from, Dante?
Kingston.
All right. We're not getting a winner from Kingston.
Not recently.
All right. Well, Dante, you heard the sound? You have your answer ready?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's hear it.
I think it is Howling Wind.
Howling Wind.
I think that is a very intelligent guess.
It is.
Dante,
Yes,
are you sticking with that answer?
yes, sir.
You're not changing anything about that answer?
No, sir.
Okay.
Well, I
Well,
don't know.
since you didn't.
I don't know how the wind sounds in Kingston when it howls, but in Portmore it sounds like this. Wah, wah, wah.
Okay, thank you for trying.
Well done, sir.
Let's go to our next caller right away. There's several of them. Good morning, you're on the air. Welcome to the Secret Sound Game. This is the Bridge 99 FM. Hello.
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 Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Not too bad.
Okay.
All right.
I heard the previous answer.
Oh.
What-
So I wondered if it's the same outcome for me.
Oh, no.
Don't think about the sound that you'll get. Think about the way it's going to feel when we say you're a winner. That is
Right.
what you need to focus on. What's your name?
Is this confidential?
Oh, hi, Miss Confidential. Welcome back.
Hi.
Now then, you heard the sound. What is your answer this morning?
Is it wind inside of a cave?
Inside of a cave, you said.
Yes.
Miss Confidential. We still don't have a first name, right?
It was P, right?
Right.
Yeah, I think it was. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So then,
You know.
do we give her words of congratulations or do we give her a different kind of sound?
What kind of sound could that be, Richie? Maybe.
Give it to our Shellz.
Quack, quack, quack.
Okay.
Take care, Miss Confidential. Have a good weekend. All right, let's take another call. Good morning. Welcome to the Secret Sound game.
I've no fear of that.
All right.
Morning, Dennis.
All right.
Yeah, but done.
This is not a traffic segment. This is Secret Sound, and you sound like you're ready for it.
Why? When I win, lose, or join, but watch you know. You know what I sound like when a welder man a cut a piece of pipe and he have the welding torch a smooth off something. You hear that make that sound there?
Hey, Dennis.
Yeah.
You know, say, when you answer on air
Yeah.
and you go back in the Outer Road Stay Crew WhatsApp group,
Yeah.
them have a way for us say all kind of things about your answer. Are you sticking with that answer?
Yeah, stick with it, man. No matter when no man wants to what you say.
Dennis, hear the sound one more time and tell me if you're going to stick with that. Listen. Dennis, you said it's a welding torch?
Yes, the boss. I cut a piece of pipe.
A cut a piece of pipe.
And the man just a level it up with the welding torch there.
Okay. Yo. You see for that, brother?
Yeah.
You see like on a traffic segment this? All this.
Quack, quack, quack.
Still have no fear.
None at all.
Big up to your passengers still. Anyway. Let's take one more. We're extending it a little bit just
Yes,
to make
right.
sure that we try to find a winner today, being Holy Thursday.
That's
Good
right.
morning. You're on the air. Welcome. Hello.
Morning, Richie.
Morning, Angie.
Hello, this is Marlene.
Marlene.
Oh, hi, Marlene.
I want to make sure that you know your name. Hi, Marlene.
Marlene, is it aeroplane?
Is it an aeroplane?
First time we're getting that answer.
You know,
Yeah. You mean like an Air Jamaica airplane that we used to have them kind of plane there.
Marlene. I like your answer, you know. I like it because when me live airplane pass all the time, but it not sound so Marlene. You know what it sound like?
what a
Quack, quack, quack.
Just before landing.
Just before that. That's how it sounds.
Take care, Marlene. We love you. Have a good weekend. Oh, boy. We're getting some interesting guesses.
Yeah.
Those who actually have put forward anything to do with wind, because we don't know the answer, Shellz and
none at
DJ
all.
Audley.
Not at all.
Those I would say, from my perspective, I
That's
think
not
that
bad.
they're thinking.
That's not bad at all.
but it's still not enough. You know, still not enough. Elon Musk offers to buy Twitter
I knew
in a
it.
takeover.
Musk.
I saw that coming.
Muscat.
Yep.
My boy.
He told you about that?
Of course. That's how I come in. Come on, man.
Yeah, so that is a recent development that is now being talked about a lot.
Wow.
Elon Musk has now offered to buy Twitter in a total takeover. Yep.
Billionaire business.
So he was initially signed on for no more than 14.9% of the stocks, but now he wants more.
Why not?
And he might end up getting it, you know.
Who knows?
He just might.
When you have the kind of money that Muskie,
Oh, you're up on the Musket thing?
Hey,
too?
man. I don't know, man. I don't know if I already know him like that.
when you have them kind of money there, you know, I mean, what? I take over Twitter, I chumps that, you know.
It's a chump change.
Yeah,
Chump
yeah.
change.
Listen,
Well, let's see how that goes.
Yeah, man. Good luck, Elon.
They have to change up some of the rules though, because remember he could not own as much as 15%
Yeah.
before. He just recently said he was not going to settle for a seat on the board,
Right.
which most people thought he would have. And now this development, this is interesting.
Hey, money talk.
maybe he sees, situation change.
Yeah,
You know,
But
and
I
an
also
opening
saw,
there.
Yeah, I also saw a story where somebody's, I think, coming with a lawsuit where they're saying that he had apparently initially bought 5%, but had not declared that he had bought it until when he had gone up to 14, up to 9%. And they're saying that it affected the stock price and that they would have been able to benefit were it public knowledge. So now a lawsuit, he might just give them a couple $100,000 and say, shh, keep quiet.
Or a few Tesla.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold that and keep calm. Another big development from the United States of America that we also want to highlight is the fact that Frank R. James was taken into custody, and he was the man that apparently was involved in the shooting of a shooting incident in a Brooklyn subway train where some 23 people were wounded. Thankfully, to date, no one has died. We understand that the police responded to a tip.
Okay.
And they were told that this individual was actually at a McDonald's restaurant. Yeah. And it turned out that he was the one providing the tip. Yes. Yeah. And so they caught him an easy surrender not far from the McDonald's restaurant. And he's actually in custody. The mayor, Eric Adams, is quoted as saying, "When you bring a smoke bomb, when you bring an automatic weapon, wear a gas mask in a very methodical way, injure and attempt to harm innocent New Yorkers, that is terror." And they have the terrorist Frank R. James in custody right now. He'll face the heavy hands of the law. Yep. Right now, though, we are going to be talking about Easter and what we eat at Easter, and or how we should eat at Easter, maybe what we should not eat at Easter. I don't know. Xavier Reid is going to be our guest in this segment. You know, it's Easter, the Easter holidays, and some of us have a very healthy journey that we've been on, but then we kind of let go, and at Easter time we're just going for the bun and cheese and a whole lot of fish if you can get it, and so on. Well, Xavier Reid, in his capacity as a personal trainer, will share with us this morning some tips in eating responsibly this Easter holiday. You want to start it off, Shell?
No problem. Morning, Xavier.
Morning. How you doing, boss? It's a pleasure talking to you, Mr. Richie B, you know?
Morning, Xavier. Morning. Welcome,
sir. It's Xavier Grey, actually, all right?
All right,
Xavier Grey. Thank you, Xavier. No worries.
All right, now, Xavier, we know what we're going, you know. 'Tis the season. You know it go. Bun and cheese like dirt, you know? How easily, first question, you know me, I can say, how do we resist the temptations? How can we eat healthily during this time?
All right, it's very, I'm not going to say it's nothing easy. It's hard because it's take a lot of discipline. And eating healthy sometimes, even for me as a trainer, it is really hard sometimes. So in times like this, I recommend a certain type of cheese and so forth. You know, with cheese like mozzarella, cottage cheese, you can basically have those cheese, because I recommend those cheese to my client, because what it consists of is protein also and fiber and less calories, like calories around 100 calories and so. In terms of the bun, even though you have buns like bran bun, which is whole wheat and stuff, it is still carbohydrate. But I recommend it a little bit more, because even though you tell people stay away and do more fish and those stuff and roast breadfruit and those stuff, they're good carbs, they're still going to indulge a little bit. So what I recommend, I prefer to eat the bran bun with the mozzarella cheese or the cottage cheese.
Yeah, but Xavier, you know, people have heard you a while ago, and you know how many people just bust out a laugh?
Mozzarella what?
Brand, but some people, I mean, I know it's out there and people are buying it, but many are not buying it as well.
Let me explain what the bran bun is. The bran bun is a whole grain bun.
Yes.
Several of our bakery, like I think National and so forth, produce them, which it is less carb than the average bun that they normally make, the regular buns. It is not as sweet because it's recommended for diabetic persons also. Right, so that's the difference with the bran bun and the regular bun. The regular bun has more sugar and more carbohydrates and more calories.
Yeah. Okay. You know, I was not even thinking about that when I asked my helper this morning to cut 2 slices of bun and put a little cheese in it and put it in wrap it in some foil and give me that. And that is after I had breakfast, by the way.
And I understand. Go ahead.
My true confession, Xavier. Yeah, but it's a time when people are indulging and sometimes even overindulging in the habit. But there are some other persons who are out there already on a fitness journey, and because of the season, they relax the rules, so to speak. What would you say to those persons to remind them to stay on their fitness journey, even amidst the Easter holiday bun and cheese eating season?
All right, one thing I always say about my clients, and exercise doesn't lie, and it's the most unforgiving thing. It shows. Even I'm going to test all my clients when they get back. So I'm just saying to them, always remember how hard you have to work during your exercise program when you're working. So don't break that for anything, because just for a few days, you're going to basically slack off on everything. So basically, remember how hard the exercise is. And most trainers, because I know I am, is going to double your work when you come back.
Yeah. See them, so.
So that's my advice to them. And just try and just keep it with any fish.
Yeah.
Because we know fish is iron, protein, and omega-3s, and heart healthy and everything. So just try and keep it with any fish. But try basically, if you want to do the fried fish during the season, try and use your what's the fryer again, or the air fryer, and basically just do it in that. It's less oil and everything.
Oh.
Right. So that's my advice to them. Just remember how hard you have to work, and we're going to double it as a trainer upon you.
Do you have clients who honestly will say to you, look, I know I'm going to overindulge, or I'm already overindulging, but I'm prepared to put in the extra work, or you don't find those kinds of reactions coming through?
Definitely. We definitely have a lot of those. We basically will tell you, say, Xavier, it doesn't matter, you just double my work when I come back. You understand? So those persons now we have to basically ready and prepare for them. So even though I'm talking to you and leading up for my Easter, because I'm not going to really have an Easter so much, it's just trying to design program for those people, so we can basically hit the ground running when they come back. But you do have those type of clients who's going to tell you straight up, I'm going to eat a little. Life is a little living. So that's what they're going to tell you, basically.
Yeah. Okay. How do you, while we're at it, Xavier, how do you kind of design a program for an individual? What are some of the key areas that you look at and look to?
All right. So basically, you have a strategized basically in each training basically for those people who basically need more work. So what we'll do is interval training with those people, like we give them sprints. And sprints is one of the most important and effective cardio exercise that you can give. So we normally keep them on an endurance sprint for like a minute. Right after that, I'll have the pulse oximeter, where I'll test their heart rate if they're recovering quick enough, because that is one of the most effective ones. Whether it's on a treadmill, they do it manually, or a whole rubber band behind you and pull you. So that is the one that I basically design. And I may mix it with some resistance training to make it a little harder. Like I give you some squats, then you do some sprints in between.
Oh, interesting, interesting.
Yes.
And you recommend exercise as a daily habit?
Yes, but exercise alone don't work, because at the end of the day, rest is just as important as exercise and the nutrition. And when I was doing my certification, my instructor always told me, your eating is more important than actually what you exercise, because you can't out-train a bad diet.
Yeah, wise words indeed. Yeah. Well, listen, we really thank Xavier for coming on and reminding us of, he reminded us of some food substitutes that we can use. He reminded us of how important it is to maintain or to stay on our fitness journey, and also generally to eat healthy, even in this season. Xavier, thank you very, very much for the motivation, and we wish you a happy Easter as well. Hope to talk to you again sometime.
Yeah, man. It's my pleasure, Mr. Legend. Richie B, you're a legend. From I was a child growing up listening.
So
keep up the good work, boss.
Enough respect.
Yeah, man. Blessing.
Where can you be?
Gonna need you forever.
All right. Where can you be found, Xavier?
All right. I do own personal training. You can find me on Instagram at Xavier, Xaviay. And I do my personal training at Dunn's. I perform on 10th and Red Hills Road. Just where Dunn's Home Center is upstairs.
Yes, I know where that is. All right.
All right.
Best wishes, bro. Great talking with you, man. All the best.
There you go.
And thank you, boss.
All right, cool. No worries, man. Xavier Grey. Yeah. Perfect reminders, timely reminders, as a matter of fact. So that does not mean that I'm not going to
Hey.
Enjoy my 2 slices of bun that I have waiting on me.
Stick broken enough people ears over the holiday. We know it go.
I don't think 10:30 will pass before I resist.
You know, I got up at 3 a.m. this morning, right?
Yeah.
And I just couldn't resist. So you know, say me have to slap with a piece.
All right. I have a confession.
With prestige, right?
I have a confession.
Great prestige, yeah.
I don't like bun with raisins. I can't stand it. So half hour I thought was like, just be there look on it like Jano. So me,
I know a few people like that.
Yeah, I can't.
As a matter of fact, I know people who will continue to eat even the little round bun.
That's me.
You serious?
That's me.
You're one of them.
Yeah, that's
well,
the same thing.
Let me tell you something, boss. We are quite the opposite. Because I love my raisin and my what?
I don't know.
Listen.
I happen to know the bakers and the bakeries that give more fruits in the. So you don't like fruits in your
no,
bun?
no, in any pastry at all. It's just about it.
Yeah, man.
Just catch me off guard.
Hey,
look at your producer's face. Like she go, what?
I don't know.
Richie,
you don't like it with the raisins either? Okay.
Big up yourself, Richie.
Yeah.
You know, let me tell you, because that pet peeve thing gone, you know. But you know what? One of my pet peeves.
What that?
To see people have your good bun with spice, and you sit down and
pick out that?
them.
That's me.
Me say.
That is me. I pick up. Hey,
listen to me.
I pick out everything.
Yeah. Yo, you ever Jody said, $2,000 for your bun and you go pick out the raisins. Yo, how could you? All right. You know, there are some people also who do the same with even rice and peas. They pick out the peas.
Yeah.
No.
My little sister was like that.
Yeah?
No.
My little sister was like that.
Yeah.
Love my rice and peas.
Yeah,
brother.
I'm not like that though. Yeah, peas are for sure.
No. When you pick out a gongo,
listen.
Yeah, but
because there are few people on earth who love gongo rice and peas more than I do.
Listen, people must understand.
When I see I pick out the gongo, you know,
Richie,
I also call Dr. Irons.
Hey, people must understand. You know? Hey, me don't think people understand about you know, food and all. You know, here Richie go stop the thing now. Hey, a good rice and peas or a good gungo rice and peas, you know, one of no meat, you know, brother.
Normal.
No,
sir.
Little gravy
for that. Good to go.
Hey.
You forget the chicken or meat or beef or whatever they about, you know.
Oh boy. Big up all of the racing.
Gravy is good enough.
What do you mean?
Oh boy. Talking about gravy, you know, there are some people who don't eat the pork, but they will have
the
gravy.
Pork gravy. Pet peeve. Next one that. Not the next one too.
No, what?
Una next. Are those who not like pork but we slap with Christmas ham? Una next one too. Una next one too. Well, I see you.
Pint them out. 14 past 8 o'clock. Time now for Man Chat. Man Chat.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and our guest today is David Reid. He's a Justice of the Peace and he's the Regional Manager at the JCDC. He's also an Adjunct Lecturer at the VTDI. And today we're looking at, inside of Man Chat, the topic, men learning to communicate effectively. Yeah, we hope to do that. We hope to achieve that in this segment for sure. And David will help us. Good morning, Mr. Reid. How are you, David?
Blessing, sir.
Morning. Good morning, Richie B. Good morning, Shellz.
All right.
For a moment when you were saying he's a big singer and a big writer, I thought you were mentioning me.
Well, look at that. Tell us some more about that.
No. I'm in the culture, but not of that creative.
All right, but if ever you decide to get involved, you know that the support would be guaranteed here.
Man.
I know that.
Yeah, man. David, good to have you on the program. As brothers, we sometimes have to sit and reason on topical issues, and this one is very, very important to all of us and to the females as well. How to effectively communicate. I hear talk about 5 essential skills of communication, and all of that we want to tie into our discussion this morning. What do you first of all consider effective communication?
Well, first and foremost, we have to define communication, and a simple definition is the exchanging of information. So if we start from there, effective communication would mean that information is passed from one to another, and the person who is receiving that information understand what the sender was trying to say. So the receiver, the sender and the receiver are on one accord, so to speak.
Being able to communicate effectively is obviously something that we aspire to achieve in our daily relationships. And I've often heard it said that men communicate differently from women. Is that your finding as well?
It is. Remember now, men are more of a sexual nature. Women are more of an emotional nature. And so in their communication, they are coming from different perspective, right? And you can understand the whole thing there because of where they are coming from. Also because of socialization and our culture, very key, how men were taught to communicate compared to how women were taught or brought up to communicate. So there is difference in how they approach it, and what the effective communication is. How do we bridge that gap? Notice the word bridge.
Yes, I like that. Yes.
Now, Mr. Reid, all right, so, I'm from the younger generation scene, so watch the style, I've had women par with my bridging them, because what I think the whole term effective communication is kind of subjective, right? Because when me do my bridging them, we're not saying nothing. Like, we're not saying anything to each other. We probably just about some game, and light, small conversation, but we're having the time of our lives. Like, if a woman's supposed to come in that present, them just don't get it. But then when we're with our women, it's like if we bring that same energy to the women, it's now considered not effective. But when I'm with my bros, it's effective enough. So that's my question. Like, is context important, when it comes to effective communication?
Context is, and if we go back to what I said earlier on in terms of men are taught to communicate differently. So within your circle, you can not say a word, but every one of your brethren there understand what you're saying, or you're so that the communication is effective within your brethren because of how you were taught as man to communicate. The same thing with females. I mean, they can just give an IQ and their sister knows it's time to leave the man at the bar or whatever and so forth. So how we were brought up, and so context also. And not many of our males learn that, okay, when they're around brethren is one way, but when you're now with females, and the same thing, vice versa.
That's true.
Go ahead.
No, I'm saying that's very true. That's very true.
Right. So not many persons, and especially within our culture, we don't learn that transition and said, yes, when I'm with my brethren, some go ends out. But now I'm with my woman, this is how I'm going to have to communicate for her to understand.
I've heard of the 5 essential communication skills. I note them being written communication, oral communication, there's nonverbal and visual communication. I've also heard of active listening and, as Shellz mentioned, contextual communication. But I have to ask the question of you, David. Why is it that it's being said that men sometimes tend to struggle when it comes to communication or communicating? What makes us struggle?
Again, we don't like to express ourselves as freely as other females. And again, remember where I started in terms of the emotion. Females are coming from an emotional background, and so they are able to express more freely than us men who, said, all right, Anash, they must understand what I talk about by just doing this, or, she must understand, right? And you have heard that expression. Why she can't understand, I'm a virgin, them understand the thing. Why she can't understand the same way, right? So we struggle because we tend to have a single approach to communication, while female might have a wider dimension.
Oh, so you spoke about men struggling with with expressing themselves. Do you feel like our struggle with expressing ourselves contribute to us trying to solve our problems in violent ways or physical ways?
Yes, totally. Communication, as we said, exchange of information. If you're not able to say to somebody, okay, you hurt my feelings, or this is happening to me, and so forth, you are going to have that pent up emotion within you, and the least thing can be
a trigger.
Trigger and send up something, right? And also, how we communicate again, you have the debaters and you have the persons who engage in a dialogue. Within our culture, many of us engage in a debate. I must win, right? Rather than a dialogue. Understand where I'm coming from, and I'm trying to understand where you are coming from. But that is not so much within our culture. We enter into this conversation as a debate because I must win. I must prove you wrong, right? And so it end up into that violent nature that we see in our society.
Well, listen, we hope that we're communicating well so far. I'm looking at a female in the studio, and it seems that we are, based on the thumbs up that we are getting. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. But I have to ask you before you go, David, because this is a big topic. Share some tips or a few other bits of advice that men can practice as they try to aspire to effective communication.
Well, you mentioned one of the 5, active listening. We need to listen more, and not just listen to respond, but listen to understand where the conversation is coming from, or where the person is coming from, because we are socialized different. Within the Bible, it talks of unequal yoke, and sometimes you have a relationship or a partnership with unequal yoke, and persons are not trying to understand each other. So if you listen more, right? If we try to say to our partner, I hear what you are saying, but explain why. Because you see, if we know purpose and we know what is the background to a situation, we'll be able to understand it better. And when we understand it better, that information better, we are able to act in a different manner than how we're acting now.
One of our listeners is writing a note here and says, when he tries the listening thing, he doesn't get a chance to speak at all because his partner just goes on
both
and
ears.
on. And
You
on.
call that both ears.
And so one of the things you need to slow down, you need to say, okay, I want to understand where you're coming from. I want to help this relationship. So let us take it in part. Let us deal with point A first, then point B, then point C, right?
Yeah.
We know the females, they will rumble from point A and reach to point Z in a jiffy. And then they said, well, they didn't listen because I mentioned point B and C, but you weren't listening, right? Our brain process things differently, right? And so you have to help her to help you. Slow down. Let us deal with point A first, then point B, then point C. Because sometimes we don't need to reach down to point Z, right? Because it can be resolved from the earlier stage.
Yeah. If she decides to go from point A and then hop over to say, Z,
Z, yeah.
and then come back, should that be a problem to the man, or should she just be allowed to do her thing?
Yeah, vent.
She should be allowed to vent, but you also want to resolve whatever the issue is,
True.
right? And any dialogue you are having is really to resolve an issue.
Yeah.
Right? So you don't want to just let it go because it's going to come back to bite you. A few more conversation down the road, she's going to say, that's why when me they say X and Y, and you're saying, when did I hear she said that? I didn't hear that. She put everything. So resolve it. Slow her down, right? Find means and ways and say, all right, let us deal with it. Point A, B, and C.
Yeah.
Right.
Be careful, brothers, because what you're saying in trying to communicate could come back to haunt you.
Yep.
Is basically what David just said.
Do you remember?
And we could go on and on, David, but we thank you for using the time well and allowing us to dissect the issue as we did. Thank you so much for your presence and your thoughts today. I wish you a wonderful Easter and all the best until we chat again, all right?
All right, I just that the brothers learn something and the females, have more insight on us.
Oh, yeah,
right,
we hope that. And
Definitely.
that would mean that we were effectively communicating. Thank you very much. David Reid, he's the Justice of the Peace, and he's Regional Manager at JCDC. Hi to our friends at the JCDC. He's also an Adjunct Lecturer at VTDI. Today's topic inside of Man Chat was men
learning to communicate effectively.
All right. Morning, ladies.